What up, though, Detroit? Hello, world.
What's up, man?
And welcome to another episode of Detroit Bicycle, where we are all about the love, benefits, art, culture, and the people we meet on bikes here in Detroit and abroad. And as always, joining on the mics, we have Mr. Bobby Brown.
What's up? What's up, Henry?
Yeah.
Hello, world out there.
Yeah. Live, and we can't forget Bruno.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's
going
up,
on?
Henry?
What's going
up,
on?
Hey, man, shout out to all the live-ass people up here.
Yes, we're recording live.
We're recording live here at PJ's Lager House.
PJ's.
Hey, man.
Yes.
Hey, 1254 Michigan Avenue, man.
Yes,
Come on
sir.
down.
Yes, sir. The
Where we live.
Hey,
Life.
loud.
Loud.
season finale.
Real
loud.
And on this episode is our season finale for the year of 2019. We're joined by someone who is maintaining one of the most important nonprofit co-ops here in the city of Detroit, focusing on the education and assistance for all of those in the cycling community. We have the executive director of the Back Alley Bikes and the Hub, Mr. Jeff Getten.
What
Jeff,
up, Detroit?
Thanks for joining us.
Great
Man,
to be
thanks
here.
for coming out, man. We really do
Appreciate taking your time to come hang out with us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, real shit, man. Thanks.
So yes, let's lay some groundwork about the Hub and Back Alley Bikes. If you would go into a little bit of the history of both and your involvement and what you do.
For sure. I came on board about 3 years ago, but Back Alley Bikes started in 1999 with the help of the late Grace Lee Boggs through Detroit Summer. It was to open up a safe space for kids in the corridor to be able to hang out, work on their bikes, and build community. And now this past summer was 20 years.
20 years strong in Detroit's Cass corridor. Let's keep the record straight.
And,
Now, go for it.
Go ahead.
Doing so, you mentioned that initially you started with focusing on kids. So talk to us about the programs that you offer, some of the results you've seen, and what, the feeling you get when you help all these kids around the neighborhood.
That, hands down, is the most fun part of my job. So we have a youth earn-a-bike program. So kids from the age of 1 to 9, all they have to do is show up with a parent, and they get a bike.
Simple as that.
You live in the city of Detroit, you get a bike. And then from the age of 10 to 17, you go through our earn-a-bike program. So not only you still get the bike, but you learn how to fix your bike. You build your bike from scratch, and you leave with a bike and a helmet.
Teaching people how to fish.
Yep.
Yes.
Man, that's amazing.
So the bike doesn't sit on the side of the house when it gets
Right.
a flat.
Right.
So that's been our flagship program. We have Youth Open Shop on Saturdays, 11 to 2. Any kid can walk in off the street, work on their own bike. Obviously under supervision from our volunteers.
Sure. And we'll get to the volunteers because that's a huge part of what makes it all run together.
That's how we keep going.
But I really think that the education you're providing with these youths on understanding mechanics of the bike is huge.
Yes.
As well as being able to provide the proper tools and resources for them to really see their work in action and their completion. How do you go about maintaining those tools, getting the tools first of all, and providing these lessons for these kids?
Originally, a lot of the tools were donated to us. Actually, Shinola, of all people, donated the work stands when Back Alley was first getting started.
No kidding.
Now, as we've grown, we have some off-site earn-a-bike programs through the Ford Resource and Engagement Center. So we have one on the east side and one in Southwest.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we were fortunate enough to make enough money in the last 2 years to tool it and staff it. And so we're in our second season now of off-site earn-a-bike programs for people that can't get to us.
Now, some of the resources on getting these bikes and these parts are brought on by donation?
So every bike that comes through the door comes
Every
in from a
bike.
donation. Yep, we have 27 affiliated shops around the Detroit metro area that when a bike is donated, a bike is left, Once a month, we call it bike harvesting. We drive around with a 25-foot box truck and we pick up bikes.
Hey, I work at a shop, and I can testify right now. We've put bikes on that truck.
Nice.
You know, I mean, we're like, hey, we'll take them in as salvage. You know, we'll give you
Sure.
$25 for it or whatever the Blue Book value is for it. But it's going to you guys, and we feel good about that.
And then your average person off the street, they see a bike on the curb, they'll pick it up and bring it over. I have a gentleman who works for DTE, drives around in the truck. When he sees them on the corner, he throws them in the van and drives them over. So
That's grassroots.
the community's been cultivated for 20 years now.
Right.
So, right, the area locally and abroad know what's needed and what's required to keep the hub going.
It is still surprising how many people we run into that have never heard of us before, though, and they stumble upon us. So we're still trying to get the word out.
Now, being a nonprofit, do you utilize any specific ways to get that word out, or is just all word of mouth, or
It's been word of mouth and social media these days.
social media
You know,
helps a lot? Yeah. Talk to us about the process of, say, Bruno's shop throws you 5 bikes. What happens after they leave his shop and they get to you?
So depending on the bikes, so if it's a kid's bike, any youth bike automatically goes right upstairs into the programming. Say it was a bike that was hit by a car and some parts are good. Then the volunteers take it apart, categorize the parts, waiting for the next bike to come through.
That sounds like a fairly large undertaking if you got donations from 25 or so.
Yeah,
bikes.
sources.
We just picked up 90 bikes today. So
Gee, wow.
the warehouse is at capacity. Not all will become bikes, but that's part of the game is taking them apart and figuring out what's up.
Right. The salvage is the key.
Yep. And we had a massive scrap day last year because there was a bunch of dead metal, but it ended up bringing us a nice chunk of change.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then adult bikes, they end up in the hub. So anything that we can refurbish and sell, we bring down to the hub, we sell them at a fair price, and all the proceeds go back into the organization.
Now,
that's what's up.
it takes, I'm assuming, quite a few hands to do that. Talk to us about your staff right now currently, and then how the volunteers evolve and come into the picture.
Believe it or not, we only have 3 paid staff members right now.
3.
3.
Wow.
Myself, Tommy, and Adam, and the rest of it is volunteers. So we have, during the summer, I do up the staff in the shop, but we've run the shop with 4 people the last 3 seasons in a row. And so it's hectic, but it works. But our base is our volunteers. Without them, we can't keep this thing going. So at any given night, we have 8 to 12 volunteers upstairs, categorizing, stripping bikes, organizing the shop, you name it. And our volunteers are our foot soldiers too. When we have events, they flyer, they go.
Sure.
So we couldn't run without them.
Now, with the volunteers, now they not only help dismantle, but they also help educate the kids and doing your programming
Yes.
as well.
So most of the people that are running my programs are seasoned volunteers that have been around the organization for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you? I'm assuming the outreach for volunteers is done by word of mouth and your foot soldiers as well, or
Definitely word of mouth. Everybody that comes through the door of the hub, I pitch it. So say if an individual comes in off the street and doesn't have money for a repair, I'll do the repair for him, but I ask him to come back in return and volunteer some time with us. So it just creates these beautiful relationships.
do you get a good response from
A lot.
from that?
A lot.
They show their appreciation and they pay it back.
Easily. I mean, a good third of our clientele are on the street, and I'd say probably a good third of them will come around and volunteer on a regular basis.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so let's move into that aspect of it. You know, it's been focused on the youth and the younger adults. You mentioned about your current demographic and those that you come and you provide the assistance and they return the favor. Talk to us about how you are involving more adults, more people directly surrounding the hub and things of that nature?
So we do have adult open shop from 12 to 6 on Sundays, which is DIY space. It's open to anyone to come in and work on their own bike. We ask for a $5 an hour donation for stand time, but you have access to all the tools and you have people to work with you. That said, as I was saying, a good third of our clientele are on the street, and I've paired with the Motor City Mitten Mission this year.
Just to be clear, when you say on the street, we're talking about literally people
They're
who
experiencing homelessness right now.
who are homeless.
Yep.
And just a sidebar, you're actually providing them with the assistance to help them get around and maintain their vehicle of choice at the time.
It's amazing how much they rely on that bike for transportation, for getting around. A lot of guys are collecting cans just to survive. That bike gets them to further places. So we started working with Motor City Mitten Mission. We created a program called Spokes for Folks.
Awesome.
So anybody that Gail meets on her outreach, because she's the only mission that is out feeding 7 days a week and clothing the homeless. And as she meets these people, she asks them their needs. If they say their needs are a bike, she hands them a voucher to come talk to us.
No kidding.
And they get a bike and a lock.
That's
And a
outstanding,
lot.
right?
Yeah. It's all about the kids, man, in the hood.
Right. The children's.
And it's community. I mean, these are our community. A lot of the people that I ask and I invite in are people that I meet on the street when I'm out walking my dog.
Right.
Nice.
You know, these are my neighbors.
Now, that clientele that you help, they come back and they get into these programs. Do you have an opportunity to see them advance themselves through with your assistance on, helping them with their bike and actually paying it forward with training other people?
Sometimes yes. Sometimes yes. We're working now trying to reach out to other organizations so that we have more resources for those individuals. Because right now we can provide them with bikes and we can provide them with 4 hours at a time of a warm space, but we can't provide them a roof.
Right.
And so we're working with other organizations now to have those contacts and those connections.
And who are you specifically working with?
Right now with the Motor City Mitten Mission.
Okay, yes,
Yeah, they're
yes,
reaching
okay.
out to other organizations they deal with so we can have the right literature and the right contacts for everyone.
With the programs that you offer now, are there particular individuals that you see that can help train others? Are there standouts that keep coming back and keep wanting to provide their help and assistance?
Absolutely. One gentleman in particular, his name is Charles. He came to me a year and a half ago, walked in the door, was honest, said, I don't have 2 cents to my name, but I got a flat. And I said, Charles, I'm happy to fix your flat. What are you doing tonight? Because it was a Wednesday.
Okay.
And he said, nothing. I said, well, if you want to come upstairs and volunteer some time, we'll call it even. And he's been coming every Wednesday and Thursday for a year and a half now.
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he greets new people to come through the door. He's on the street, so he knows a lot of the folks. Thank the universe, he's got shelter for the next 3 months and a mission on the east side, and he still rides over and helps us on Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Wow. That's something. I had no idea that, you're providing that service for the individuals who enjoy biking, whether it's their transportation or how they get around. It makes their life a lot easier to do so.
And I pride myself on knowing their names, recognizing them on the
Right,
street.
they're people, sure.
They're humans, and they're not always treated that way.
Offering another human being dignity costs you nothing.
Nothing, not a damn
You know what I'm saying?
thing.
Like, you have no idea, you don't know what that person has gone through. You don't know where they've come from. Offering them dignity is free. Can we all just agree, man?
Right,
That's
for
just
sure.
and it sounds like exactly what's up.
On top of the reward you receive yourself from helping that person out and watching them,
Right.
prosper from doing
Right.
that.
I was walking my dog last week. A gentleman was walking toward me. He said, that's a beautiful dog. I said, thank you very much. I said, she's friendly, but she's a little nervous. And he said, may I pet her? I said, you can try. So he reached down, she dipped away.
Right.
He was okay with that. I said, my name's Jeff. He said, my name's Mohammed. He's on the street. He's from Somalia. He speaks 6 languages.
Wow.
I asked him if bike would get him better around town easier. He said, yes. Guess who showed up the next day?
No kidding.
But it was that human contact of saying hello, my name is Jeff, and I see him every day.
Right, hand-to-hand humanity.
Every day.
Right.
Yeah, right.
You know, he sleeps in Cass Park. He's my neighbor.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the good thing about, you know, the people in this city is that, you know, we still speak. You know, we're gonna give you that down south home love of like, hey neighbor, you know, and still talk to you and not mean mug you and keep moving on. You know, I feel like there's some people who still do that, but those days I feel like are long gone.
Yeah,
I get a
they're
lot more
for
people
sure.
who speak and say something.
Yeah, we're here for it.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
here for it.
We're all human.
We all recognize,
We've
we all
all-
here together.
We've all gone through stuff.
And we ain't found no other place yet, so.
23 and me ain't got us fucked up yet. We still out here, bro.
All right, so all of this help you're providing people, you know, it takes some funding for you to keep going.
Yes, it does.
Talk to us about how you get funding, what kind of events you put on to get the awareness out there, and what you ask for our listeners that want to provide help and assistance, what they can do.
So anyone can go to the website and they can donate through PayPal right on our site, just for the cause. The hub was created 11 years ago as a means to help fund the organization, but it definitely is not the sole fundraiser. It can't be.
Sure.
So we have a handful of events throughout the year that we do, some smaller events, some larger. Our largest event, which this year is going to be its 8th year, is called Bike the Blizzard. It's a 24-hour bike ride. We're mixing it up this year. It's going to be 11 a.m. to 11 a.m. instead of midnight to midnight. Kind of confused everybody when you tell them it's 12 to 12. So,
Which 12?
Right. So just to clarify, Bike to Blizzard, people sign up.
So it's a fundraising event for back alley bikes, but it's also a bike ride. So you can sign up off the website, click on the Bike to Blizzard link. It's going to put you right to CrowdRise. Create a team. You can ride as a solo. You can ride as a team, and you put it out to your friends and your social media to raise money for your cause, which is back alley that day. Now you can come out and ride 1 mile. Come out and ride 100 miles. Whatever you want to do. We have a warming station. We have nonstop food, movies, fun conversation. We
Warmth.
have warmth. We have
Being in
last year we
January.
actually had a blizzard during Bike the Blizzard.
Yeah.
So, you know, Jackson Robar, our friend,
Oh, yeah, our homie.
he took the most miles,
hard.
My man
81 miles in the
lost
snow.
his mind. Like, he was like, what? You did how many miles?
Right. In this weather?
Yeah.
So he took first last year. So we also have prizes for the most miles, the most team with miles. So you don't even have to come out to raise money for us. You just have to create a team on CrowdRise and get it out to your people.
So, okay, that's interesting. There's no set way on how one would establish their donation. They can donate a grip right off the bat, or someone can, air quote, sponsor me for
However many miles
$1
or
a
hours
mile,
or whatever.
right.
You
Or-
say you're going to ride 50 miles that night. You say, I want all my friends to give me $1 a mile. And so however you want to word it, that's how you're going to create it. We do ask that there's a $50
Minimum
minimum
buy-in.
for solo, $100 minimum for team.
Oh, right. That
All
sounds,
right.
that's, you know.
Yeah, that's fair, right?
You might be coming out of that yourself. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
And we have SAG vehicles. I had VeloFix come out with their full van last year
Oh, nice. Okay.
provide ride support for 9 hours. It's just a fun event.
Sure.
It's a fun event.
What kind of numbers do you usually get on average for Bike to Blizzard?
So that's why we're pushing it hard this year. So 2 years ago, we pulled $14,000 for the event, which for our
Wow,
organization is a
pretty
lot
sick.
of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last year we made under $7. So I don't know if it was the weather, I don't know if it was the formula we put together, but it definitely was a lackluster year, which hurt us in the season.
Right.
So this year we're coming into the season strong. We're shooting for 20 this year. Might be a little high, but that's what we're going for.
There you go, man. So you're going to have organized rides, and then people can ride on their own. So tell us more about, like, the organized. Like, I don't have a team, but I want to ride. What do I do?
So if you don't have a team and you want to ride, you're still going to sign up and get that page going. and you're going to say, I'm riding for Bike the Blizzard, you're still going to earn money with your friends. But if you don't want to plot a course or you don't have a group to ride with, we're going to have rides throughout the night. Some of them fast-paced, some of them slow-paced. 6 a.m., we do a ride to Ferndale to grab bagels and back, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So you can tag on for rides like that.
Yeah.
We'll do short rides. We'll do a hot loop around Belle Isle. One of the guys is talking about riding to Ann Arbor. So
That's usually Robar's.
that's Jackson's. That's Jackson.
didn't he ride back from Lansing one year?
He did.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Jackson's wild, bro.
Right.
My man just got
He's
back
out there.
from. He just got back from
Iceman.
Iceman, yeah. I heard the conditions
he-
were
yeah.
real bad.
It was
My
a
man was
Mudfest
wild.
this year.
Yeah.
I'm still shell shocked. I did it 1 year with Derek and a couple other cats.
Hey, man, I don't want to tell you how old I am, but I did the first one.
Okay.
And the very first dude that won, we were like, who is this guy? There was Tinker Juarez.
No kidding.
Dude, Tinker Juarez won the first Iceman.
Wow.
And we had no idea. He was there. We partied with him after,
Right,
'cause
right.
it was like, but like, damn, Tinker? Really?
What was the I guess who was the brainchild behind Bike the Blizzard? Like, yeah, let's go out in the middle of winter.
Let's go on the shittiest day.
Like, no, we're not gonna.
and let everybody who
75.
signs up know it's the shittiest day.
Yes.
It literally falls on like the coldest day of the year kind of thing.
Right, right.
I don't know who the
That
brainchild
Farmer's
was. I've
Almanac.
only been with them for 3 years, but I don't know. The hardcores come out and it's fun. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it is.
There is a
It's-
ride in Ann Arbor too, though, called the Worst Ride.
Worst ride of the year.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
worst
right.
ride of the year.
So we're trying to actually partner with them so they can promote us and we can promote them. So.
Right.
I'm going to get that gear and get back out there this year.
Let's
You
go.
know, Detroit
I got
Bicycle, we can put a
got
few
you.
miles in. I know.
Yeah, I'm
Got
down
the
for that.
GoPro. I think people
Put a
might
few
want to see
miles
the
in.
video.
You wanna
on
come
that.
back,
Come back and get warm and eat some food.
I think we
Right.
need to throw
Yeah.
some video out there of
We
us
can do
riding that
that,
shit.
For sure. I'm down.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
down.
down to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
All right.
I'm going to hold you guys to it. I
Thank
want
you
to see
very
a team
much,
pop
man.
up.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
What's that
Get out
date
there.
again? Make sure everybody knows.
18th and 19th of January, 11 a.m. to 11 a.m.
2020 coming up January
Yes.
18th and 19th.
Yeah.
And
Get
we're going
your
to
shit
finish
together.
with
Get
a
your
nice
gear
brunch.
together.
Wax your chain.
Okay.
Place to be announced.
Nice. Now, so Bike to Blizzard is your largest and most
Profitable.
profitable one.
Let's say that.
Well, what other, I guess, rides or fundraising do you offer?
So we do seek grants throughout the year from different organizations. I scratched and clawed for a grant for the Ford Foundation this year, and Ford Foundation was gracious enough to give us $30,000 this year.
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
So it
That's
was
awesome.
that's what got us to fund both our offsite programming. So it was,
Oh,
I
we
was
can
able
get
to.
to that too.
yeah.
Okay.
So that's on the east side and the southwest, right?
Yes, so it's on the east side at the Dorothy Miller School at 7 Mile and Madeline, and then
Yes.
the FREC 1 Ford Resource Engagement Center right at the pedestrian bridge in the
Oh,
Mexican
yeah.
town, that
Yeah.
big glass building.
Right.
Yep.
That's
That's
Bobby's people's.
Yeah, oh,
that's
yeah.
FREC 1. So
Right.
Carmen, the director over there, was kind enough to invite us in this year. So we have a program running there every Saturday.
Yeah, talk to us about what you offer for the east side and southwest side.
So 2 years ago, they reached out to us to come out for a one-time gig called FREC City Saturdays. So FREC is the Ford Resource and Engagement Center, and it's exactly what it says. They give resources to people who don't have. They have everything from free tax consulting to free haircuts.
Nice.
They have a food bank that's there every week. The one in Southwest has a full market sponsored through Gleaners.
Wow,
So if you have a
okay.
Southwest zip code and you're low income, you can shop there.
Okay.
So we came out for a one-time gig. We showed them what we did. Kids in the neighborhood went crazy. The director reached out to us, said, I want this to be an ongoing thing. So they basically got the funding through United Way. United Way gave us a $15,000 grant 2 years ago to staff it, tool it,
Sure.
and keep it going.
Right.
So
That's
when we were
awesome.
ready to re-up again, I said, I want a piece of FREC 1. I said, you guys have two organizations. We haven't tapped Southwest.
Right.
They came back with a $30,000 grant to run both programs. So
Fantastic.
now
That's what's up,
we
though.
take our program to them now. So the kids that can't make it to us, we're doing an earner bike program there.
Right.
Bridged
Oh,
version.
okay.
So it's 3 classes, 3 Saturdays in a row. They learn how to work on their bike and they leave with a bike and a helmet.
And a helmet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the best part
Yeah.
too, is that they also
And they can sign
maintaining
up
and
through
learning how to
FREC.
ride safe too.
Well, that's the biggest thing is empowering these kids that if something goes wrong, their chain pops off, they know how to fix it.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't just sit on the side of the house.
They
and
can
rot.
show off that way too to their friends.
Exactly.
Right, because now you're fixing everyone's joint.
Right.
We have a crew that shows up every Saturday to open shop, local kids around the neighborhood, and it's exactly what it is. They bust something, they come in, they bring their friends in, they work on it together, and then they go ride.
That's what's up.
Right, for real.
Are you I know you just got your East and Southwest established. Are you trying to get that program even bigger?
We are. The hardest part we have with that is funding staff members.
Yeah.
So volunteers are the way we survive, but getting a volunteer to show up every Saturday for a program is kind of tough.
Yeah. And I mean, luckily with the abridged version, though, it's probably, if you can localize it in their area, so they just got to go down the block.
Exactly.
For 3 Saturdays out of a month, it may not be so bad.
And that's something that is attainable. We have a trailer that we can haul the gear if need be by bike, because most of our employees don't own cars. So we are trying to reach out to other organizations to do smaller versions of this all over the place.
Nice.
Especially now that we tooled it through FREC, when it shuts down for periods of time, we have all the equipment at our disposal.
Right,
So
right.
We can do it.
So not only at Back Alley with their workstations, just 7 or 9 stations?
There's 6 workstations upstairs.
Okay.
Yep.
So not only those that are fully equipped with all the tools you could need to repair your bike, you've got mobile setups as well.
In 2 locations now, each with 6 stands and tooling for both.
Wow. That's pretty.
That's serious.
Yeah, that's pretty serious.
You're fixing shit.
Right. Right.
You got 6 stands. You're fixing
we
shit.
are literally
Bikes are
fixing
going
shit.
down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Bikes are going down.
It's a labor of love. It burns us all out, and we look forward to winter to slow down a little bit.
A little bit. I think
little bit.
we can feel that.
We can really
Right.
All right, so you've got that going on. Anything else you want to let the people know? Where can our listeners get that information? How can they locate you?
So our website is the Hub of Detroit or Back Alley Bikes, links you to the same thing. Website's a little outdated, a little beat up, but it's relatively easy to maneuver around. You can click on youth programming, click on adult programming, calendar pops up, tells you what we're doing and when we're doing it. There's a link to Bike to Blizzard if you want to come out and help us raise some money and ride with us. We are on Instagram, just Hub of Back Alley. Mainly it's just social media and word of mouth.
Any kind of people are looking at alternatives for like a weekly ride or something like that. You guys do something along those lines?
We do have a Wednesday ride. That's just called the Wednesday night ride.
Okay.
It leaves every Wednesday. They meet at 6:30, ride at 7. It's a year-round ride.
That's Andre.
Andre rides it, yeah. Andre leads it.
Right. Shout out, Andre.
Oh yeah, shout out to Andre.
Come on,
Andre.
man. You know, my man's OG.
Year round.
Yeah, he's been around.
I can't even
He's
say
a
that.
diehard year-round.
Yeah, I can't say that either.
Major props to that. Right.
If you don't know, now you know.
What's the pace like so folks know,
So in the summer, the groups, 50 or 60 people throw up, so they do a A or a B ride.
Okay.
So A ride's going to be 17 plus, B ride's 12 plus.
Oh, all right. A little bit for everybody then.
And they average 20 to 35 miles depending on the night.
Oh, they're getting some out. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
That's
definitely.
good ride.
In the
Stretch it
winter,
out.
they scale down. There'll be a half dozen folks, but they'll show up and they'll pick a ride of who shows up.
Yeah, based on the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Right. We've been on that ride, dude.
Yeah.
You know what we're talking about,
For
right?
sure.
Right.
We also we started our first FTW ride. So it's a Women Femmes Trans ride.
Yes.
This was its first season. So we were doing it every other Thursday. The last ride was supposed to be Halloween, but we got rained out, unfortunately.
Right, there was that.
So one of the leaders of the ride is I'm putting them through our Wrench Learn and Give class, and she's going to start leading our FTW night. So it'll be a safe space for people to come work on their bikes.
Gene running that?
No, a friend named Anka.
Okay.
Yeah. Gene's going to be assisting.
Nice.
Right, of course.
Shout out to Gene.
Yes.
Tried to get her here tonight, but she's actually working on
she's
Blizzard
working
stuff
hard
right now.
Oh, yeah.
She's just a little sidebar. She's a transplant.
Yep.
Yes.
Detroit drug her here from Chicago, so that's what's up. I mean,
She stepped her game up.
she did. She did.
You know what I mean? Like, for real, man. Like, she really came, like,
Hey.
Now, this is only my
she
fourth
leveled
year.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just hit 4. We're coming up on 4 years in Detroit.
Nice. So yeah, where are you from originally?
Originally from Philadelphia, but I moved here from Oakland.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah. I was
Okay.
living out on the West Coast for 17 years.
no kidding.
My wife grew up in Detroit. Family was kind of in need, so that's what brought us here. June will be 4 years.
Right on. Well, thank you.
Yes, for real.
Definitely.
I got welcome to the fam.
I got a lot of love for Detroit. The people are amazing.
I mean-
hate the weather.
I'm sure it doesn't compare to Oakland.
I imagine 17 years in Northern California. Nothing beats that weather.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we definitely need more folks like you coming in, you know, being a part of Back Alley Bikes, the hub, you know, helping the youth out, helping folks who are down, you know, don't have the means to be able to get out here and get their stuff fixed properly. Hey, we're going to, like Bruno said, teach you how to fish, you know, teach you how to fish.
You know, ironically, when the hub first opened, I've been with my wife 15 years, so we were coming to Detroit all the time visiting, so I felt like it was home away from home anyway. And we were biking around the city, and we saw the hub. And we popped in, we're looking around, and I was like, well, if I ever move to Detroit, I'm going to work here. And she's like, what? Well, when I landed here, first thing I did was hit up the hub.
Right. There you go, man.
Hey.
Because, yeah, I've been in the industry for 25 years. I've been slinging bikes to people with a lot of money. It's kind of nice to give back now.
Yeah.
Right.
And to be able to not have to turn anybody away,
Yeah,
it's a
that's-
beautiful thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can
beautiful
only
thing.
imagine how,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
being able to
blessings.
help someone.
We have a
Right.
20-year
In need.
accumulation of parts sitting upstairs. You think I'm going to tell somebody I'm not going to give them a derailleur
Yeah.
if they come in with a bad derailleur?
Right.
I can't.
Right.
'Cause
You
you-
got the right hanger, man. I got you.
Yeah.
You got the right hanger. Long or short, I got you.
And that to me is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Like, no is not in your vocabulary.
It's not
for
in my
that.
vocabulary.
Don't
Yeah.
have to be.
It
Right.
doesn't have to be.
know?
So
And
Right.
that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
And I can
Right.
also send them upstairs, and they learn how to do it themselves, too.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the second.
So you're
gift.
providing a service and you're providing an education.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people can actually say that in their
It's-
day-to-day life?
It kicks my ass every year, but I love it. It's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's my community, it's my family.
Like, you don't, you know, you don't think of it as work because you enjoy it.
It's amazing. You know, and it kills me every time, but
Right.
as soon as October hits, I'm like, come on, shut this thing down.
Yeah. I mean, the busy season. It's it can really get carried away sometimes.
It can test you, and my clientele will test you too.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I
Sure.
mean, yeah.
I mean, we don't have heat. We barely have heat. We don't have air. So it gets gamey in there. Mm-hmm. You know, in the middle of the summer, you got a line outdoor and everybody's fired up. It's going to test you.
Right.
It's going to test you.
But I think there's definitely a level of respect when word gets out and they know that they can come to you when they're stranded with their wheels and you can't get as far as they need to.
It is a judgmental free place.
Yeah.
Everyone is welcome. Upstairs and downstairs, everyone is welcome. And that's something that everybody needs to know with that organization. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what status you're sitting on. This place is open to you.
Right.
That's what's up.
I know, like, I've seen cats ride on the east, north end, whatever. They know when the shit's down, they know they can go to the hub and, like, they'll get their bike straight. You know what I mean? And for many people, dude, like we've been talking about all night, that's their means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how they get down for the get down. So,
And it's
congratulations,
Yeah.
man. I really respect what you do.
For sure.
Yes.
When I heard they were suffering, that was my motivation to get over there and try to make this thing work, because every city needs that resource.
Right.
That's an excellent point. I was just about to bring up. You're kind of a unicorn. There's not many shops in I bet 50 miles that offer the kind of service that you provide for people.
There's not many in every city. I mean, a handful of cities around the country have them, and believe it or not, Back Alley Bikes is one of the longest running ones.
The oldest, yeah.
I mean, hitting 20 years.
Right.
Neighborhood Bike Works in Philly, used to volunteer there. They hit 23 years this year.
No kidding. Okay.
So they're definitely OG, but
Sure.
it's there's not a lot.
Right.
But it's they're growing. The industry is changing so much that this resource is people are understanding it now. I mean, when I think last year I sold 275 bikes, that's 275 bikes that didn't end up in the dump.
Right.
Because we grabbed them off the street and we fixed them and we made them work again. Mm-hmm. So we're also, we're also trying to do something to let people know you don't need that pretty new bike to get around.
Not at all.
No, you don't.
Not at all. Ain't none of my bikes pretty. So, I mean, really, it's commendable of what you guys are doing and what you're maintaining. I mean, it's a lot of work. Being the executive director and managing the establishment and wrenching, and inventory. I mean, the list goes on
It does.
and on and on. So,
Fundraising.
yeah, can't forget that.
Yeah, right. Those grants don't write themselves, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you ever had to, grants don't write themselves.
Taking an online grant course right now.
Right, dude. You got to know the language
Yep.
and the,
Right,
like, the
to really
actual,
get
like,
the
use the right
reaction.
verb
Exactly.
conjugations so it'll hit the right algorithm. It's a science
It's a
now,
lot
dude.
of work.
And we got to keep our ducks in order because you can't apply to larger grants unless all your ducks are in order.
Sure.
Right,
Because they're going to laugh at you.
right.
And just to repeat for our listeners, this is a non-profit organization, 503,
501c3.
501c, correct, I'm sorry.
So the hub isn't technically an LLC, but it's owned by our 501c3. So any quote profits keep
Go
the
right to
organization
that.
alive.
Keep it
Nice.
moving. Keep
Yep.
it moving.
Keep the doors open. Keep the staff paid.
Wow, Jeff. I mean, it's a big hill you climb every season, and I know I appreciate you. You know, a little backstory, real quick. Well, once I caught the bug of cycling 10, 12 years ago, that was the first occasion I really got my hands dirty with the proper equipment to really get to understand the mechanics of what I was trying to do with just pliers and a screwdriver back in the day. So it's definitely inspired me early on to really create and expand and teach and educate and kind of share what I've learned from that establishment. So, and I believe it was an adult builder program where there were 5 weeks that focused on
Yep.
individual parts of the bike, and you know, by the time you're done, you've rebuilt your own, or you get a full understanding of what actually is going on. So
And that program still runs. It's Wrench, Learn, and Give. The give part is you work on one of our bikes, and by the time it's done, you understand the bike, and the bike gets given to a kid.
perfect, perfect. Wow, Jeff. I mean, thanks for taking the time and enlightening our listeners. Real quick, before we move on, let us know where we can find the Back Alley Bikes, the hub, your social media, and where donations can be made.
So we are on Facebook, of course. Backalley.bikes.org is the website. Hubofdetroit.org is also the website. Links you to the both. It's the same page. And Instagram, it's the Hub of Back Alley.
Fantastic.
Are we going to do this now?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So with all
Let's
of
line
our,
'em up, bro.
Right,
Line 'em
so with all of our guests that we have on our show, we have 2 segments. First is something that relates to all of us on the mic, is our 3 things segment. And this week we chose, I mean, it's kind of very basic, but right on point.
Yeah, right. Co-ops.
Your favorite.
You know what I'm saying? Like our 3
Co-op.
favorite co-ops.
Right.
Like, what are our favorite co-ops?
So Bruno, why don't you,
Yeah, okay.
why don't you
all
start
right.
us off?
So, I like to. For me, when I think about the bicycle culture, I always think about the children. We got to bring them along, and if you think about it, we sell about 24 million bicycles, new bikes every year. The industry sells about 24 million bikes a year. About 8 million of those are 20-inch or smaller.
Or smaller.
Right. So we're selling a third of our market is for children's bikes, and they outgrow them. My particular co-op is the free bikes for kids.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Like those guys, Bob Barnes.
Bob's amazing.
Bob's a cool ass dude, man.
Yeah.
Like I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, dude. He's like a Shaolin master, man. He's like really cool with it. He's like, no, we just wash them with our hands. I was like, really? I'm like, I'll bring a power wash. He's like, yeah, we don't have a drain, but it's okay. And I'm like, okay, Bob, cool, man.
Right.
But they are really, like, they literally are taking a third of the bikes that aren't being really reused, and they're taking them out, recycling them, reusing them. It's amazing.
This is
Now-
the second year, right, that Bob brought it to
Yeah,
Detroit. Yeah.
right. And it's from Minneapolis or Milwaukee, if I'm not mistaken. This formula.
I think it
But-
started in Minneapolis.
Right, and
Yeah.
they brought it to us, and it works. You know, they fix them. They're mechanics, and they really produce and give away. I think they gave away 5,000 bikes a couple years ago, 2 years ago, their first year.
First year, I think they gave away 5,000. They were shooting for 7 this year or something.
Right. It was amazing.
Wow.
So, I mean, anytime the children can be on bikes,
Sure.
and we're teaching them how to ride them appropriately, we're watering the seed.
And once they get them,
Right.
they can go
It's
to the
right.
back
They
alley
go to
and
the
learn how to
go
work
to back
on 'em.
alley. Right. And when
So we reached out to Bob in the spring, and we're like, Bob, we gave you 75 bikes last year. I want to give you a few hundred this year. When can you get them? And this was over the summer. He's like, well, we don't start collecting until October. I said, I want you there at our doorstep on October. So we gave him 175 bikes to kick off his season.
Nice.
Yeah,
All right.
congratulations, man.
Right.
We're trying to thin the warehouse, and we're trying to get over there as a team to help work on
And
the bikes.
the
too.
fact of the matter is that we're all a fam. You know
sure.
what I mean? Like,
For
if
sure.
we have to water the seed. That's the most important thing. You know, it's cool that we got like nice lights or whatever, nice routes, but it's for the children's.
It's for the kids.
So what you got, Bobby?
For me, it's you know, they fall along similar lines as Back Alley and the Hub. It's going to be Southwest Rides.
Southwest Rise.
You know,
Solid
they're,
choice.
They're doing the same thing. You know, they kind of do focus on Southwest. They promote a similar like Earn a Bike program. They want to teach the youth how to really get out there, maintain their own things.
That's a solid choice.
And you know, they do rides, they do sales as well, but it's all about the community for them. You know, how to get you out there on a bike. You know, how to get you to repair your own stuff. They have a very nice shop. Their Earn a Bike section, I forgot how many setups they have. Last time I was in there, I feel like it was 6 to 10, but it was growing.
Right.
Right. It's wild.
I know Derek was helping them out for a while, but he has since left. And cats they got down there now, very knowledgeable. You know, they're reaching out to the community hard. You know, I see their flyers everywhere, especially in the schools and stores and all that good stuff down in Southwest. So if you're in Southwest, please support or check out Southwest Rides.
They've been
There's
doing a
good
great
group.
job getting the word out this year.
Oh, yeah. I definitely see it pop up a lot more.
Right.
A lot more. But they definitely fall, like I said, along the same lines as you all, just in a different
We rolled out the
neighborhood.
ride with them a couple times on their rides just to support their rides.
Yeah.
It's
it's all
geospherical.
family.
You know what I mean? Like, we're all here.
Yeah, well,
So what you got, Henry? What's your spot?
Well, as riders, you know, we get to cruise around the city, east, west, north, south, and, you know, there's been a large, I'm losing my words. Just a lot of people are taking properties that have no houses on them, they're vacant lots,
Okay.
and they're creating gardens with them. And they're just popping up left and right. So I definitely enjoy how they are establishing themselves and using the fruits of the labor to help the community. But the one specific one that I like is the Michigan Urban Farming Initiative. That's definitely a nonprofit who takes these vacant properties, build gardens, and use those to feed the neighbors and themselves, and use the profits they receive to go back into creating better garden for the next year. So my favorite co-op currently would be the Michigan Urban Farming Initiative.
And that's what's up. I love riding around and seeing just like random garden here.
Yeah.
That
Right, you
used to be
just
a
turn
vacant
it,
lot.
like you'll
Yeah.
turn left on the different street, like you're not used to, and you'll see them, and you'll be like,
They pop
oh,
up
wow.
left and right.
Oh wow,
Yes.
they're growing.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
They're doing this thing,
Yeah.
and it's exciting.
So Jeff, I know we're throwing this on you as we do all of our guests. We would assume that Back Alley, the Hub, will be your favorite co-op. Do you have anything else in mind that jumps out on you?
Absolutely. Outside of Back Alley, of course, the Georgia Street Community Collective. Mark Covington has a Georgia Street farm on the east side.
Okay. I thought that name sounded familiar. All right.
Yeah, as the neighborhood's been decaying, he's been buying up plots of land and growing his farming. He also bought the local liquor store that was abandoned and turned it into a youth center.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I have a lot of love for Mark. My wife and I volunteer over there all the time, and Yeah. I'll give a shout out to Mark Covington. And
That's
There you
what's
go,
up.
man. That's what's up. You want to give him to him? Come on, Henry. Give
All
him to him.
So our final segment for the show is something that we've created collectively that help us as podcasters, the host, and our listeners to get to know more about our guest every week. And it's got a bike-centric focus, but it can expand from there as well. So we've got this 5-question hot seat that we're going to inquire with you about.
I'll do my best.
All right. If you could describe your first bike or your first favorite bike.
My first favorite bike, so my mom was a single mom, my little brother and I, small apartment in Wilmington, Delaware at the time, and I begged and screamed and pleaded for a Raleigh chopper.
Okay.
So I'm dating myself, but
That's a worthy begging.
If you would say, well, get the chopper, that's some
That is
badass.
definitely worthy of some.
I always
of
got
some
hand-me-down
hysterics.
from my 3 older cousins, and by the time I got them, they were clapped out. So, and my little brother, forget it, he got nothing.
Right.
So my mom scrimped and saved and got me a Raleigh chopper, and 4 days after I got it got stolen.
Oh. We hear that more than
Yes.
I would
Yes.
care to.
Yeah,
remember.
that
I feel
fresh
like
bike.
that's just
I still today want that bike back. I want to find one on eBay one day and just stick it in my corner and stare at it.
with like low mileage.
low mileage Raleigh chopper.
The joint with like, like 700 miles.
And my mom's got a picture of me on this thing. It was way too big for me. I could not barely ride this thing.
Not
but
even, doesn't matter.
had to have it.
You had to have it. The must to.
All right, so the Raleigh chopper. All right.
Right.
whoever got it, bring it back.
Yes.
Give
Why
his
you
chopper
fucking with?
back.
Why you fucking with my man? He loved his bike.
All right, so this next question can pertain to your youth. It can even pertain to your ride up here to PJ's Lager House. But describe your favorite ride. Location, destination, event, group,
Mindset.
mindset.
You
Yeah,
know, like where's your headspace at?
Favorite ride is going to be Santa Cruz, California. There's a handful of trail systems out there that just it's magical to me when you're in those redwoods and you're just bombing down these beautiful hills in the moment. And so there's 30 different names of all the different trails out there. But
Sure.
I got to say my riding is my spiritual meditation. It's my rolling meditation.
Of course.
It's the reason why I pedal every day. But I'd have to say the biggest smile on my face was riding the Santa Cruz Mountains for 17 years.
nice, nice.
That's not bad, man.
No.
No.
You gotta show. I mean,
Hey.
I mean, the redwoods are magical. They literally, that strain of redwoods is only from the Oregon border to Big Sur. They are
Right.
just there in the world. They're right there in California.
Right.
And I was riding them.
That's
every
a
day.
dream of mine to get out there to check out the Redwood Forest for sure. So, I mean, you just mentioned that you're a ride every day kind of guy. So, was there a time period, maybe when you got your license, that biking stopped? And if it did, what brought you back to cycling?
What brought me back to cycling, in all honesty, I was hit by a drunk driver, left for dead. And
Oh.
it took me 5 years to get back on my feet again.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But cycling is what drove me back to human. They told me there was an 80% chance I'd never weight bear on my left leg again.
And this was while riding?
I was in a car.
You were in a car?
Yep, I was
Okay.
in a car. I was hit by a drunk. Broken back, fractured skull, whole laundry list of injuries.
Wow.
And it took me a year and a half to walk without canes and braces. And the only thing I could do in rehab that didn't hurt really bad was the pool or a stationary bike. So I kept telling myself, when I'm stable enough, I'm going to ride a bike again. And that's what got me back.
Wow.
And that was 1990.
no kidding.
That's a powerful testimony.
It is.
For
no
real,
doubt.
that's like-
For real.
Right.
That
real,
really
for real.
brought me back.
It really
We're
brought you
not
back.
here for the games.
Right.
And you know, living in California, real easy to ride year round. So owning a
Sure.
car was silly.
Right.
But I still, I ride pretty much 7 days a week.
Nice.
Man. Well, being in Detroit now for, you said, 4...
Coming up on 4 years.
4 years now. We like this question.
You like this question.
Describe your favorite Detroit flavor. It could be literal, like taste. It could be smell. It could be music. It could be location. What would be, or attitude?
Favorite Detroit
Whatever the
flavor.
first thing that comes to mind. What would be your favorite Detroit flavor?
You know, I gotta say, I winter messed me up the first year here, and I was used to.
It's not for
it don't
everybody,
stop,
man. It ain't
right.
for everybody.
I was used to Dickies and Chucks for 17 years, and but
Yeah.
I embraced winter, and I would leave my apartment, and I would do this little loop around Belle Isle, and I'd stop and I'd watch the ice, and it just the serenity and the quiet, like that was my love, and I kind of fell in love with the city in the winter when it's quiet.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that crackle.
Yeah.
And the temperature tells you
Yeah.
how rough it is. Oh, it's beautiful.
Just something about it, though. I don't know. It's magical to me. You know, it's the crowds aren't there. It's quiet. I'm just kind of doing
For
my
sure.
own thing. And,
Yeah.
But I almost look forward to winter coming this year again to get that ride on.
Okay. All right.
Shout out to Winter.
Yeah.
But you know, when we first landed here, my wife's folks are in the burbs, and we've always been city people. So we would leave their house every morning, hop on our bikes from Beverly Hills, ride down to the city, and just ride in and out of every neighborhood.
Nice.
And I was living in West Oakland, California. Not the most love thrown around there.
Right.
And I found that no matter what neighborhood I rolled through in Detroit, everybody says hi.
Yeah, man.
And I was taken back right away my first week. And I think that's why I fell in love with the people and I fell in love with the city, because no matter where I am, I'm stopping and looking at my phone, figuring out where I am, and next thing I know, I'm having a conversation with somebody. And it's like, I don't know. Those people are just real.
Nice.
I don't know. I got a lot of love for the city.
Good. That's awesome to hear. Especially at the transplant. I think
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
Still hate the weather. I'm not going to deny.
Right.
Summers are too hot, winters are too cold, man.
All right, with your brief time here in Detroit and your experiences that you were probably force-fed a lot of here, what would be, sky's the limit, what would be your one wish for the city of Detroit? You can marinate for a minute.
Just a little more equality for everybody.
Right on.
A little more equality for everybody.
That's, I mean,
Level that playing field, man. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
Right, let's
Yeah.
go.
that's what's up.
Let's go.
Don't take much.
No, it doesn't. You're right.
That's the crazy thing. It
Little
doesn't take
common
much.
sense
Yeah.
is going to let you know
It'll
what
go a
time it is,
long
right? It's going to
way.
let you know what
Yes,
time
sir.
it
Yes,
is.
sir.
It doesn't take much, you know. Everybody's just living.
Right. We all got to live
That's
here.
the polarities of the haves and the have-nots have messed me up my whole life, and I just love to see the playing field a little level. You said it best, Bobby.
Right.
Nice.
He often does.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Well, Jeff, I know the fellas here really appreciate you taking some time out here
Appreciate coming out.
For sure.
to come
Thank
hang
you.
with us on our final episode
Right.
Yeah.
of
2019.
2019.
Out here at PJ's Lager House.
PJ's Lager House
You know what I'm saying?
really
1254 Michigan Avenue.
setting us up.
Live, laugh, love.
Appreciate the invite. It was great coming
Thank
out.
you so much again, Jeff, for your time. And lastly, if people haven't heard yet, please tell them where we can find you and Back Alley, the Hub, Detroit.
So Hub of Detroit and Back Alley share the same address, 3611 Cass Ave, same place for 20 years. Website is hubofdetroit.org and backalley.bikes.org. And we're also on Instagram as the Hub of Back Alley.
And we would encourage all of our listeners to donate your used equipment, your used bikes, donate your time,
Stands, tools,
whatever you have.
chains,
They can
like
use
everything.
it. That will help them expand.
Hour of time.
Hour is all he's asking.
Hey,
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
right?
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank
man.
you.
Thank you. Season finale.
Yes.
No,
yes. So,
seriously,
yeah.
dude, that just happened.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Shout out to Jeff.
Right.
We're going to do a quick rundown of thanks for all the folks who have been a part of this.
yeah, I brought notes for
okay.
this because we've had so many wonderful
Yeah,
people
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and awesome stories, and I learned so much, man.
Yeah, we give a shout out to Podcast Detroit. That's where we started
That's
at,
where we
out of
started.
Royal Oak.
That's
Or
where we
actually, we started at the shipping container.
Yeah,
was episode
on
1.
Putnam, right then.
Yeah.
Just the lower part of that's Cash Corridor. You think that's still?
Yeah, that's still that's
we'll call it
corridor.
Cash
That's the
Corridor.
corridor.
Yeah.
Lexus Velodrome and Dell.
Our first in studio
Yes,
guest.
yes, most gracious to come out there and bless us for sure.
The only person who's ever had a velodrome stolen.
Oh yes, he did tell us that. That was crazy.
Right. I mean, come on now.
Todd Scott, Detroit Greenways.
Yeah.
Shout out to him and all the work he's doing.
Yeah.
The
Todd's
effort.
also on our board. So
Fantastic.
nice.
He's on the
He's one of our board members and probably soon to be president of our board.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh man, he's picking up another.
He's a busy man, but I love him. I love
He
him.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, hugely responsible for the hundreds of miles now of bike lanes that we have here in the city.
Ben Kehoe, Bikes and Coffee. Y'all know where that's
Yeah.
at. One of our brothers. Mogo Detroit.
Yes, Adriel.
Shout out to
and
Adriel
Lisa.
and Lisa. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
they are expanding. I think this next month. They are taking it out to the OC.
Right.
Okay.
Get out to
Oh,
Oakland
that's
County.
right. That's
Yeah.
right.
And they're
that's
gonna have
right.
and they're gonna have tandems available.
Yes,
Yeah,
tandems.
yeah,
They
yeah.
introduced.
Tandems will be
And they got the
available.
pedal assist
They
out
got
there.
the pedal assist bikes. Yep.
Downtown Detroit Bike Shop. Shout out to John.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a delineage.
You're in the corner, man. You know John.
Yeah, the voice of the velodrome.
Yes, yes. If you ever been to the Velodrome,
The loudest
and you hear
man ever.
Yeah,
That's my man.
he's got that Sunday voice.
Thunder racing. You'll pay for the whole seat, but you only need the edge.
Josh and Matt. Matt from Farm Field Table. Josh Taylor,
Oh, yes.
Dime Store, of course. Chef
Yes,
Josh.
yes. Shout out to our
right?
brother Josh. If
American.
you haven't been to Dime Store yet, what are you waiting for?
Yeah, please.
Again, I
Bring
think
your
they
ass.
noticed
Get the Venice.
they won the best breakfast spot again this year.
Yes.
So
Yeah, they got the Triple Crown
yeah,
this year.
absolutely.
They got like best breakfast, best business brunch, and best something else, man.
So make sure you check that
Yeah,
out.
that's amazing.
Tom Jositis.
Yes,
and
from Focus Hope.
Yes.
Focus Hope.
Shout out to
out to Focus Hope for
nonprofits.
sure.
And yeah, Tom is doing some amazing things. They're keeping the dream alive for sure.
Hey, and he stays on two wheels, man.
All the
Like, he
time.
rides all winter,
All
man.
the
Like,
time.
let's shout out to Tom, the cyclist.
Albies BMX Bike
Come
Shop.
on, man.
Oh, yeah.
Always bangs.
Yep.
They made me turbo lace me up a set of wheels.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
Our first call-in guest.
Oh,
Chris Hack.
Yeah, dude,
international.
yeah, right.
International.
Dude, my man
he
was
left us
like-
a message.
Yes.
He wished he could listen, but they're like in the middle.
Right. He's in, he was going from Alaska
Yes, to-
Alaska to
Argentina.
Tierra del Fuego,
By
like to the
cycle.
bottom.
Yes.
by
on a
bike.
boat.
Him and his wife.
Yes, Sophie, who could not join us because she was like getting her
Right.
citizenship
Yes.
Yeah,
that
she
night.
passed the test, though.
Yes,
Yep.
yes,
So
yes.
shout out to Sophie.
So we'll definitely have them back on for sure to discuss
right?
their adventures.
Like in real life.
Yeah.
Oh
Like
yeah,
you-
yeah. Of course, Slow Roll.
Yeah.
Mike McCool
Mike
and Jeff
McCool
Heron. Jeff
yes.
was here, but he had to dip out.
Shout out to those guys.
Right?
That was pretty sweet. Big Mike,
Big
Bikes
Mike.
and Murder. He had to dip out too. Everybody got work
president.
tonight.
Right?
And Maria's here.
Yes.
Shout out.
This lovely lady Maria is here. Yes.
Yeah, the good, the 51%. Shout out, bro.
The best half. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not here, so we can say whatever we want.
Victoria, Tour Detroit.
Yes. Victoria. Shout out to her.
They just had Bike the Bridge not too long ago.
Correct. It was they had a little-
Scotty Too Hottie was out there.
Yeah.
Doing that thing.
Yeah,
Cold.
yeah. To my left, we had our surprise guest, Henry Ford.
Very
on.
surprised, guys.
Thought he was going to kill us. Cause
For all y'all don't know, I cussed these MFers out because they wouldn't tell me who the guest was.
Why the hell I can't know who the hell gonna be on. Because it's
Hey,
you,
man,
fool.
let's do in real life though, man. You are worthy.
Yes,
Oh, man.
of
Like
course.
all our guests, you're on
Palmer Park,
that
bike ride,
status, dude.
You know, every Thursday he out
there was
here.
no guest we had this year that
leading
was
the
not.
troops.
Man.
But, you know,
Appreciate
like
it.
And
you
also
were there.
your League of Michigan by
Yes, on the
Cyclists
board of,
now.
yes.
You're the man.
Yes.
I mean,
I
let's keep it
appreciate
real. And you got that voice.
We had Kristen Ritter on from Detroit Athletic Club
Right.
talking about the
Detroit Cycling Series, Championship Series.
That was pretty sweet. If you got a chance to go down there and
This
check it out,
year,
it was
Yeah,
hot.
they
had a new course.
They had a
yeah.
new course, which was nice.
Beacon Park, that was tight
Yeah.
out
Right.
there. Midnight Marauders, Coco
Ooh,
and Beth
Coco and
Joy.
Beth Joy.
Kickball as well. They were on.
That's fam.
We can never say enough nice things about Detroit. Shout out to Emily T. Gale.
Yeah. Emily. Aloha. as you
Yeah,
like to say.
Right. Detroit Bison Coffee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what
And we
had
did a show
little-
there, man.
Yep, we did
They
a
were
show there for her.
Ben was gracious enough to have us in the spot.
You know, if you can't catch Henry on Thursdays, you can catch him sometimes with Kelly Kavanaugh in the Wheelhouse.
During the warehouse, yeah,
Putting them
we're doing
tours
them
on.
tours for sure. Thanks for coming out, Kelly.
Catch that voice in real life.
Yeah.
Come on out.
If you're on a bike, you happen to get hit by somebody, you know, you can call.
We got the man for
We
you.
got the
Bike
man
Law.
for you. Bike
Yep.
Law, Michigan Bike Law. Shout out to Brian Weldman.
Yes.
Waldman.
I know. In real life, man, they literally wrote the book.
He wrote the
on
book.
Michigan bike law.
He
Like,
wrote-
if you have a question about laws concerning bicycles in the
Yep.
state of Michigan,
Yep.
he is your exclusive authority.
Yeah.
Attorney of the year last year.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
Nice.
That's, I mean, what more can you say?
Right.
Yeah.
He even provides us a handbook that we
Right.
can carry
Oh, yeah.
along with us just in case.
He's
Pick
got
up
the
your handbook.
big book for
Right.
like at your house, but then the one for your like saddlebag.
Oh yeah.
Like-
Oh yeah.
Quick reference.
Shout out to Kelsey Hubble. Thank you.
Yes, Kelsey is doing it out here
Oh
in the
yeah.
streets.
She got her hands on some of everything right now.
Right.
We got them in the house right now.
Yeah,
Cycle Detroit.
Cycle
Shout out to the
Detroit.
fellas.
What up?
Yeah, shout out.
Ben,
Ben,
Scotty,
Doug.
Doug.
Thank you guys for taking some time out to
Yes,
come visit
yes,
and hanging
yes.
out with us tonight.
Henry's other job, you know, he's Jamaican. He got a million jobs. Detroit Bikes founder Zach came in, blessed
Zach
us.
came talk to us about business.
Oh, yeah.
Starting a new business, using the name of Detroit and what he feels about how it's, an honor to do so, but he also has a responsibility
Right.
to maintain our flavor throughout the company.
Also, if you need your headshots or anything like that, go holler at our man's Camera Jesus, Joe Gall. Thank you for blessing us as well.
Camera Jesus, he's starting his new venture.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
providing tours for
Yes, elevated exposure
Yes.
tours.
Elevated
Yes.
exposure, right?
Yes. And last but not least, thank you again, Jeff, coming
Yes,
on,
Jeff from
blessing us
the Hub.
on the
Thanks for
season
having me.
finale. One more, of course, we can't give a PJ for giving us a second home.
He gave us the real estate to
Yes.
come here and do
Right.
our thing.
I mean, tip your bartenders. Go buy some more beers.
Right. Come
See
check out
everybody
the
ate
show.
Good. Yeah, come check out a show here. There are shows.
Hey, live. Like literally
real
live.
show. Real live talent.
Not just us.
Nah, not just us.
Like
but,
real talent.
Yeah. This wouldn't be possible without all of you all for listening to us clown around and get the good word about what's
Right.
going on in the city
Dude, it's been a
around
great
all
year,
of
man.
it. It's been fun.
And we promise to step it up, man.
Yeah, for sure
We've
this-
already
Yeah.
talked about stepping it up.
Yeah,
man.
next year a little bigger, a little better. You
Right.
know.
There'll be ways to support us if you wish.
You're right.
If you want to come join us on the show
Come
and talk
hang
to us
out.
about what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna get out in the streets more. You'll see us around.
I've definitely been out in the streets advising people that we want them on the show, so it's hard to juggle and not be stagnant in our focus.
Right.
But you are on our mind, and we're going to get you on board
Yeah, we're gonna,
next year.
We want to get the word out to the most number of riders in the city. So,
Yeah, yes.
about what's up.
Oh, and Aunt Nee's, we had a lost show. We're gonna put it out there. We had
Aunt Nee's.
technical difficulties with Mr. Carlos, but he will be back as a bonus episode.
That's that plus one.
Right.
That's that plus one episode.
And that's probably going to be the first time we expand our format.
Right.
So keep your eyes and ears out
Yeah.
your
for that
third
upcoming
eye.
show.
That pineal gland.
Yeah.
Open it up, bro. We here for it.
But again, thank you everybody. Thank you world. Thank you Detroit. Thank you all for coming in to listen to us.
Where can they find us if they don't know?
Oh yeah. You know where we at? Detroit Bicycle, BYCY.
CLE.
Bruno, couldn't get it out.
My man.
Hey.
We're on the IG.
We on the IG. We on Twitter. We got the website that is in progress. It's up, but it's just our podcast, so you can go out there and.
YouTube is about to.
Yeah, that's bigger and better.
Get
we got
on
some
and
plans
popping.
in the works. Pull a couple of videos together.
So we stepping our game up.
Yes, sir.
We're making promises right now. You know what I mean? We're like,
Right, the pressure is on.
yeah, I'm guaranteeing a win right now.
All right.
Next year is going to be stepped
We
up.
definitely want to increase our
no
quality.
Letting you know.
Do we want to open it up for
Anybody want to come on? Say
Anybody else want to
kind
come
word?
I don't
on
know
up?
about this crowd.
We got an open mic here for anyone who wants to come and give a good word, talk about what you're doing, how you ride, what you ride.
How we made you feel? Did you feel anything? Did you learn?
Y'all had a
anything?
whole bunch of shit to say like a couple of days ago. Y'all got shit to say now?
If you don't want to say that,
I see how it
leave
goes.
us a message. Detroit Bicycle. I bet. Again, thank you, everyone.
We really appreciate
We
you
really
tuning
appreciate
in.
it. We really do.
If you miss us, just tune into an older episode.
Oh yeah, put them on repeat. You know, the hits will keep on coming.
Just the sound of your voices, man. Like if I need to take a nap or like chill out or some shit, like my blood pressure's too high, just that balso profundo. That should be
Yeah.
like
Again, this is Detroit.
it's like watching a
Bicycle.
fish tank, man. It's like my heart rate goes down.
Bruno, ladies and gentlemen.
I know. It's been amazing.
Has it?
Yes. It has. All right.
I can't even imagine doing this journey without the
That's
two of
what's
you,
up,
man.
man. I really
can't. Like,
I'm really proud of all of us and what we've
Hey,
accomplished.
we made it
yeah,
happen, man.
you
We
put
made
me
it
in the right.
happen.
You put me in the right space, man. I really do
love
appreciate
it.
all
That's
y'all,
That's
man.
That's what's up.
Love y'all, bros.
So
All right.
again, tune in. Keep your ears and eyes open. We're gonna come at you
Right, hard.
hard.
Yeah, full force.
Give them the outro one more.
And this is Detroit Bicycle, where we're all about the love, benefits, art, culture, food, and all you lovely people we meet on bikes here in Detroit and abroad. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next time.